This story is called The Open Boat. It was written by Stephen Crane and it is based on what happened to him in 1896. He was traveling from the United States to Cuba as a correspondent. One night, his ship hit a sandbar. It sank in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Florida. Most of the people on board got into lifeboats. The protagonists of the story are four men that shared a lifeboat: the ship's captain, the correspondent Stephen, the cook, and the oiler named Billy. Each one had a different personality and background, but what all shared in common was the determination of surviving. From now on, the story takes place at open sea on the very small boat. The racing action begins when the men realize they are stuck in the ocean. This is a man versus nature conflict. They faced waves that were strong enough to overturn boats. The boat was much like an animal. As each wave came and she rose for it, she seemed like a horse leaping over a high fence. A particular danger of the sea is the fact that after successfully getting through one wave, you discover that there is another behind it. As the days pass, they start expecting to reach land soon or to be rescued. During this time, the Voyagers faced plenty of unwanted challenges. The main and the toughest was remaining still on the boat because if they didn't, it will fill up with water and end up drowned. The climax is presented when another opportunity appears. They had already gone to a previous island, but they couldn't make it to shore. So the four men arrived to a second island, and as they went nearer, they could not see anyone to help them. So they started thinking and discussing what was the best possibility to survive. Their chances were very limited. Soon they realized swimming was the only path. The captain said to keep going forward until a wave destroyed the boat and forced them to swim. The climax happens towards the very end in this story. The falling action starts as soon as they were in the water. Immediately, they felt discomfort from the icy water, but it did not stop them from swimming with all their strength. They swam and swam. Each one of the men were exhausted and thirsty from freedom. They began arriving to shore one by one, first the cook, then the captain, and finally the correspondent. Sadly, Billy didn't make it. In the low water, face down, lay the oiler. The resolution of the story leads to three from four men arriving safely to land. All of them were exhausted, making them unconscious of their surroundings. Immediately, a lot of people start approaching to the Voyagers with blankets, cloth, and also coffee. Land welcomed them with comfort, but even though there was still a bitterness from Billy's death. The theme learned is how indifferent nature is with men, humankind. The man that survived was just from pure luck. You cannot know whether your future is going to be good or bad if it depends on nature. Nature doesn't care and doesn't know anything or anyone. So a mistake they made was to assume that as they had come so far, they all would survive. But clearly, it isn't that way.